Hey class, how's it going today? It's October 13th. Just wanted to give you guys a quick market update. So today's really the first official day of the third quarter earnings. Usually the earnings season begins with big banks. They tend to set the macro tone for the rest of earnings seasons because the banks kind of deal with everybody. So they kind of give you a little sneak peek about how other parts of the market are doing. So both JP Morgan and BlackRock, maker of many ETFs, um, both had more positive numbers than the market expected. So far, BlackRock is up a little bit and JP Morgan is kind of flat. Sometimes the good news gets baked into these stocks in advance of them reporting their earnings. So, you could have a good earnings report, but if the price started going up in advance, maybe some of this stuff was anticipated. Um, the White House is set to announce an agreement with California ports, Walmart, UPS, and FedEx to try to help them ease the supply chain bottlenecks at our ports. I had a friend tell me that she's seen Halloween costumes prices increase about 50% in the last week. So it's not about not being able to get stuff. It's about how much you're going to pay for it if you need it. So I also saw another chart this week saying about 10% more consumers have begun holiday shopping. Usually that number I think was around 10% had begun holiday shopping by now. Right now it's I think close to 20%. So even things like PlayStation 5, very hard to come by. It'll be a hot holiday gift for the second year in a row. Will these supply chain issues have other knock-on effects? Will businesses that we don't anticipate do worse because they're impacted by supply chain issues? On the other hand, is this all overblown? A lot of times when we see news like this and it's front and center in the headlines, by the time it's front and center in the headlines, sometimes the worst is already behind us and we're just seeing just that, the headlines. So we're early in the earnings season. Again, we just got the first two big companies to report, and I'll try to update you guys going forward. I started to look at the stock of Hasbro this week. They've reported that they have plenty of inventory, no supply chain issues or minimal supply chain issues. Their CEO just passed away today. But at the same time, they have appear to be firing on all cylinders. They're really rapidly moving into the digital world with Magic the Gathering is now a popular mobile game. They're trying to make Dungeons and Dragons a game on your cell phone, plus all their other time-tested brands they have at Hasbro and their brand partnerships. What looks particularly attractive to me about Hasbro, if I pull that up really quick, one of the key metrics for one, and I'll show you guys this sometime, the quant scoring system I use that basically indicates if something is attractive or unattractive. But, it has a really, based on itself, it has a, fairly reasonable price to earnings ratio relative to the market, pretty reasonable price to sales ratio. Enterprise value is attractive. Plus, it pays a 3% dividend. This is something that the price could appreciate and maybe normalize that dividend. And what do I mean by normalize? The dividend on Hasbro is about twice the rate of the S&P. So it certainly fits into the value category at the moment. But if some of these new electronic drivers of revenue appear fruitful, then the dividend rate could go down just by a function of the price of that stock going up. The dividend is usually like a flat, like a flat rate that they adjust when the board approves something. So think about, Hasbro, if it pays if it costs $90 a share, a 3% dividend is let's call it, well, a little under $2, a little under $3. So you get paid to own it. But that's all, guys. I just want to give you a quick update on my thoughts. And just to talk about Hasbro again for a second, I mean, if Hasbro, traditional hardware maker, toys, right, starts to get more into digital stuff, like selling Magic the Gathering video games on your cell phone, where users will pay for this stuff, there's no supply chain issues. So Just a thought. Anyway, have a great day. Looking forward to your comments.